Hello everyone and welcome back to the Artificial DM. So today we are going to finally talk about it. Neckbeardia's Furry Hunter class. Now if you don't know what this is, Neckbeardia went ahead and made their own homebrew class as kind of a meme. And essentially it is a class you go around and intentionally kill furry races. If you don't know what a furry is, which I don't know how you wouldn't know what a furry is, but essentially a furry is this. Think Disney's Robin Hood, or whatever iteration you've been introduced to, that's basically a furry. There are varying degrees, varying styles, but whatever. An anthropomorphic animalistic character that has a lot of human traits and characteristics is how I would view what a furry is. Please note, there are furry characters, and then there's fursuits and a bunch of other nonsense, but I'm not even getting into all that. Either way, a lot of people will view the Dragonboard, the Tabaxi, the Kenku, Aarakocra, some of those other animal type player races as furry characters. Which I mean, let's be honest, they are essentially a furry character in that sense, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Because essentially if you're not playing a human character, then you're being a fantasy character. So what's it matter? Now, there is a fine line of splitting hairs of, it's what my character would do! And being cringy and pushing your agenda. For example, this RPG horror story that I read where a tabaxi would lick himself clean and lick milk out of a bowl and acted like a cat. Which some of those quirks are entertaining to mess around with while role-playing because it adds conflict. If you take a group of people who have the same exact mannerisms, the same ideas, the same thought process, you're really not going to have any interesting dynamics. Having a group of varied characters is what makes role-playing really fun in D&D. Especially when one person is going to go and be like, no! You're not allowed to mug him! Why not? He was already pickpocketing that guy! Alright, anyway, that's enough of my ranting about furries and interesting characters and roleplay dynamic. Let's get into why you're watching the video. So Neckbeardia made this, and I've read through it, and I'm going to show you a little bit of it here in a moment. But essentially, it costs $1 to buy, and up front, I'm going to say right now, you should go ahead and buy it. That is, if you already watched Neckbeardia. If you don't watch Neckbeardia, I understand you're not going to buy it, but if you do watch his content, go ahead and throw him the buck and buy the PDF. Anyway, here's a little bit of what it looks like. So, right away, Neckbeardia Furry Hunter, Table of Contents. And this wonderful little just taking the blood hunter and throwing a fursuit head on him. Dedicated to the hatred of the least humanoid races, they pursue them. Once possibly a scholar, they have lost themselves to the knowledge that their quarry exists, with each detail uncovered, simply fueling their hatred. My character has a boner for furries, but only in slaying them. Some say that they are creatures of tragedy, a product of a young person exposed to an abnormality, such as a pet being harmed by a bestial race, a farmer who had his prized cow being taken by a strange bull creature on 2 legs, or a parent who had their children eaten by opportunistic lizard breeds. Essentially, when you boil it down, the Furry Hunter class is just a reskin of the Blood Hunter class, and give it a bunch of flavor text, which makes it actually kind of funny, such as Hunter's Bane. Beginning at first level, you have survived the Hunter's Bane, a dangerous, long-guarded ritual that alters your life's blood, forever binding you to the hatred and honing your senses. You have advantage on wisdom checks to track furries and scalies, as well as on intelligence checks to recall information about them. And essentially, instead of using blood magic, you're using hate magic. And here's all the Furry Hunter table for leveling up. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the 3rd level. Psh, nothing personal, kid. At 3rd level, you commit to your life being entirely ordered into furry hunting. The order you choose grants you features at 3rd level, and again at 7th, 11th, 15th, and 18th. And obviously, this right here is a good representation of what your character would be. Like I said, I'm not going entirely into this because I believe that Neckbeardia is a great channel. And like he said in this video,
we have the Furry Hunter class. It's pure shitpost. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the whole thing is a pure and utter shitpost. I've toned it down a wee touch, because, like, you know, the one that we were having on Discord and showing boys was a bit, you know, you just can't sell it on eBay, you know what I mean? If I kept it like that's why I had to like tone it down a wee touch for the normies, you know how it is, But look, it is a pure shitpost, it's pure meme. It's not for everyone, but hey, it's only £1, and I thought I was kind of thinking of like new ways to go, I don't like the idea of people being like, oh, can you go support me on Patreon? Can you give us a few quid? It's like, no, you'd rather get something for it. So hey, if you want, throw us £1, you get the Furry Hunter class, which is a lot of entertainment, untold hours of entertainment.
He doesn't mean any of it. It's all for the memes. It's funny. And honestly, for $1, I wasn't expecting an entire homebrew class. And when you look at it, it's kind of funny. The way that it comes across is intentionally being cringe material for the sake of being cringe material. But if you look at Neckbeardia as a whole, I mean, they do that. It's fun. Hell, the name Neckbeardia just says it right there. If you've seen any of Neckbeardia, you've heard some of the things that James and Megan have said about furries overall. I know that some people are furries, and other people are completely against furries, even the Dragonborn, or even the Kenku, and all those other races out there that are based off of animals. But the thing about D&D is it is a fantasy game. As long as you don't make things weird, or impose upon other people your preference and say, oh, because you're a furry, you must be into sexualizing cats, or whatever else. As long as they're not filling their entire dialogue with woo and mer, or trying to get yiffy for the sake of it, I mean, there's no problems there. Which, yes, furries have a lot of degeneracy attached to them. Why? Well, look at Pamperchew, look at Snake Thing, look at what happens at furry conventions, E621, baddragon.com. There's just a huge stigma around furries. However, not all furries are out to bone animals, or gets their rocks off of imagining their animalistic character getting boned, but there is a lot of it out there. And because there is so much out there, it's just kind of in your face. When you think about furries, that's what comes to mind. But the same thing is true when you think about anime. Weebs come to mind. And the same thing comes to mind when you think about RPGs. Neckbeards come to mind. No matter where you go, you're going to interact and find people in a fan base or a community that are degenerates in comparison with the rest of the community. Now with the furry community, does that mean that there are more degenerates than less? I have no idea. I know that I've met a lot of decent furries, but I've also seen a lot of nonsense out there on the internet. Which if you want to find out more about degenerates and furries and stuff, I would recommend checking out some Deadwing Dorg. But anyway, back to Neckbeardia. I don't view the Neckbeardia Furry Hunter class as a targeted attack. It's like a meme. It's a joke. So I do want to say that Neckbeardia does tend to joke about anybody who plays RPGs, anybody who enjoys anime, anybody who's in the furry community, anybody who enjoys anything really is a degenerate. And so a lot of times it comes off as if they hate those communities. It has been brought to my attention that on their Discord server, if you do have an anime or furry profile pic, you end up getting a furry or weeb role, which that is targeted. But honestly, if they were completely 100% anti-furry, they wouldn't be selling these, and they wouldn't be trying to push them almost in every video. Buy the big titty anime lizard folk mini! You know what I mean? Would I allow this at my own table? Definitely not. Maybe for a one shot, as a joke. But the character class brings a lot of problems to the table. It intentionally goes around and makes trouble by targeting these furry characters, whether that's a player character or an NPC. However, that aside, I don't think Neckbeardia crossed a line by making the class. It's a shitpost. It's a meme. I will discourage people from playing the class. If it does interest you though, go ahead and buy it. It's $1 or $2 over on their website, and it helps support another content creator. You may disagree with me, and that's okay. But overall, this is just my opinion and a review of a homebrew. I think it would be pretty fun to review other homebrew, whether they are good or bad, but I know there are a lot of different homebrew out there. But anyway, that's what I think about the Neckbeardia Furry Hunter class. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like, and please go buy the Neckbeardia's Furry Hunter class if you actually enjoy Neckbeardia's channel. I'm not affiliated with him, I'm not affiliated with any of the money that would be gained from it. I made this video because you guys wanted to see the video. Sorry if this was a little more broken up and not as concise. This was completely unscripted. I just set up the microphone and started recording. that will do it for today. And until next time, hope you feel inspired.